welcome to my channel. I'm Elma. Today we're going to be comparing both of Fenty's foundations side by side. We're going to see how they apply as well as try it out with the new Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer. If this is your jam, just keep on watching. I do hope you enjoy the video.
I gotta tell you something I could do.
Okay, so let's get right into it. We're first gonna talk about the primers. So Riri came out with two new primers, a mattifying primer. Did not pick up the mattifying primer because I am dry skin, so I was like, I don't need this in my life. So I picked up the hydrating primer. I already own the original soft matte primer and I actually really enjoy this product. Surprising because when I hear soft matte and pore filling and smoothing, it usually is not something that my skin tends to like because it's maybe a little bit thick, a little bit like more like silicone-y, but this is not that at all. If anything, it feels like a cream on your face, so it really hydrates but at the same time blurs all your imperfections, so you have like a nice smooth canvas to work with. The hydrating primer, and I really love it. I have tried this already and this is amazing. This is moisturizing. As you can see how they look close to one another, it is obviously more liquidy and more shiny, and even though I'm quite blessed in the sense that I don't have like mega pores, but I do have a little something happening here, so I like applying this specifically over here to really like smooth out that area. So I really love the fact that Fenty came out with primers for each skin type. So if you're more a combination, the original primer will work great for you. If you're dry skin, the hydrating primer will be amazing for you, and I'm guessing that if you're oily skin, the matte primer should be something way up your alley opposed to the hydrating one. By the way, the primer retails for 42 Canadian dollars plus tax, and now we're gonna get into the foundation. This side of my face that's a little bit more problematic, I'm going to be using the hydrating foundation simply because I want to kind of put it to the test. I already do know how it's going to work, but because it's more medium coverage, I want to see how you can build it up so I can like kind of hide what's going on over here. And on this side of my face, I'm going to be using the Pro Filter, the original one. So both shades are in 310. When I initially got this foundation, by the way, you can see my initial review of this in the cards and also in the description box, so be sure to check it out. I first got shade 310, then I got shade 300 because it's better for me during the winter time, but 310 at the moment is my shade and it works perfectly fine. So I also got 310 for the hydrating primer. One thing that's really amazing about this line is like whatever your foundation is in this is gonna be in this. There's like no like color difference. It's just the formula that is more hydrating than this one. So both foundations retail for 45 Canadian dollars plus tax, and both come in the 50 shades, and also both foundations are long lasting. For all over my face, I am going to be using the hydrating primer, and unlike my other like foundation reviews where I usually use beauty blender on one side, brush on the other, I'm just going to go ahead and just use a brush on both sides of my face because, to be honest with you, when it comes to the Fenty foundation, the original one, I actually prefer using it with a brush rather than a sponge. For some reason, I find it gives me a much more beautiful even coverage opposed to using it with a sponge. So I'm going to be using my favorite brush, which by now you probably know is the Sephora Pro Flawless Foundation brush, and this is the number 56, and this also is the number 56. So I'm not going to be switching up brushes, so you can, you know, no mix up, no nothing or anything like that. Let's get right into it. This primer is so good. It's a little bit more liquidy than the original, but it is way more hydrating, and as you can see, I have a little glow going on. So first off, we're gonna go in with the Soft Matte Pro Filter foundation. I really fell in love with this foundation when I started using it with a brush, because when I use it with a sponge, I didn't find it as nice, that it applied as beautifully as it does right now. Look at that, it's just like instantly smoothing my skin as if I added some sort of like, I don't know, filter or something. And one thing it says it does, it's like it's pore diffusing and it's a shine free finish, which as you can tell is totally true. Look at how beautiful that is, and obviously it has more of a full coverage. So on the other side, I'm going to be using the Hydrating foundation, and this one has more of a natural finish and more of a medium coverage. So one thing as well about this foundation is it's also as long lasting as the original soft matte foundation, but this time around it's like obviously more hydrating, and you can see it because my skin looks like skin. There's like glow going, and it has like this very natural looking finish. Both foundations take a little time to set into their natural color, but once it's set, it looks perfect. And here's a side-by-side comparison. Soft matte is giving me Photoshop flawless face, whereas the hydrating side is giving me more of a glowy skin-like skin finish. So there you go, guys. Those were my thoughts on this foundation. As you can see, once all the makeup is on and everything, it pretty much look the same. The feel is so different for sure. Like this side of my face is definitely more, it can move more. It's more like, oh, hydrated, whereas this side feels a little bit more drier. So Fenty has a thing, I don't know what it is, if it's sorcery, but when it comes to like longevity of foundation and how it looks after a long day, they've got that ish nailed down, and they were able to bring it from the original to the hydrating, and for that I am so very grateful. If you are a dry skin babe and you are not feeling this foundation, definitely go for this one. You will love it way more. For me, I still love this foundation very much. The only thing and the only difference was when I prepped my skin knowing I was going for this foundation, I went in a little bit more heavy-handedly with my hydrating products. That was how I was able to make it work. So amazing, especially for the summertime. Like this does not, but winter time I didn't used to gravitate towards this foundation like in the dead ass of winter, but I will very much be grabbing this way more, especially during the winter months, because it's so much more nicer to my skin. I do hope that this video was helpful. If you want to see how I created this whole look, I'm gonna have a video and I'll put it in the cards as well as the description box, because this is usually using the Jackie Aina palette. I did a whole review on it, so check that out. As always, if you know your shade, drop it below and drop your other foundation shades so we can help each other to find our perfect match. For me, it's 310 during the summertime and 300 during the winter time, and it just works, okay? It just works. So there you have it. Feel free to catch me on the IG side of life. Check out my stories and also check out my last video if you're interested, and also drop in the comments what else you would like to see. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great evening, great day, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Peace out. Bye. Or should I say like in Love Island? Bye.